Thank you for joining us with this presentation about the config editor applet that has been designed by the Easy Photoscan team. To get the applet, you will want to go to the Help Center on easyphotoscan.com. When you click on it, you'll be presented into our Help Center, and there you'll locate the Getting Started tab, and you'll be able to find it under Auto Reverse Config Editor, or you can certainly just type in Config Editor in the search bar and it will find it as well. When you click on this option, the information to download it will be found in this area here. Once it has been downloaded, you'll look into your Downloads folder and you'll find the file PSS-config-editor. It is an application, and we will want to have you go ahead and create a shortcut and then place that shortcut up on your desktop so that you can use it during your workflow when scanning photos. Now with the applet downloaded and the shortcut on your desktop, you can click on it, and when you do, you will notice that it indicates you're about to make some changes. It identifies that you have the Kodak Picture Saver Scanning Software on your computer, and that the configuration currently is as it is when you get your scanners out of the box new, automatically to reverse the order of the scans. And you can see that it's possible to change that order to not auto-reverse, and that's what this applet does. But before we do that, I'm going to minimize this for a moment, and we're going to actually launch our photo scanning software, and we're going to show you what we mean by automatically reverse and how this impacts your workflow. So we're going to type in scan job 1 as a job. We'll hit continue, and we're ready to proceed. What I've got is a stack of 5 photos, as you will see here. These 5 photos are in a specific order, and we want to kind of preserve them in that order, with the first one that we want to see down in the bottom as the first feed in, the second one, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and so on. This could be literally hundreds of photographs, but we'll show with just these few. So we've got a stack of 5 photos, but we're going to break them into 2 sections. These 2 sections include the 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5. We'll place the first group in, select the batch scan function, and we'll go ahead and put them in. And so the first picture will come out, the second one will come out, and the third one will come out. Now, if we were to keep feeding, we're fine, but the scanner is stopped, and the order immediately flips around, so now they're in a 3, 2, 1 configuration. Now this does replicate the way I'm holding them in my hands and look at them so that the first one on the left is the first one on the top. But I've got more pictures in my stack that I want to keep in order. And so I'm going to go ahead and place that second stack and hit the batch scan button. And in will come picture number 4 and picture number 5. Now I've placed that stack on top, so I'm looking at the first picture. But you'll notice all of a sudden it wants to reverse again, but it doesn't reorganize the initial batch that you scanned. And so now we kind of got a conundrum, because we've got 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, and you could see if you had to do your process of multiple batches over and over again, you could lose the order of the photographs relatively quickly. One way to overcome that is to go into your settings and extend your time so that you go to the maximum so that your scanner doesn't time out. But as soon as your scanner stops and the motor stops and it quits accepting photographs, and you have to hit the batch button again, they will automatically flip. So how do we overcome that? Well, one way we can overcome that is to use our config editor. One thing I will note that you will need to close and finalize any order you've already got and actually close your application when you use the config editor. We're now going to go ahead and open up the config editor, and you'll note that we are in the automatic reverse order to scan, and there's a note here that says if you're changing them to automatically reverse, you might want to set that highest possible value for timeout, but let's change it back to reversing the order by merely hitting the enter button. When we do, we've actually changed the configuration of the scanner, and we are going to go ahead now and launch the application again. And we're going to take the very same stack in the very same order, and we're going to call this scan job 2. Continue. And now we're going to do it again in the same way in 2 batches. So we're going to take pictures with the first one in to 3. So we're going to do number 1, number 2, and number 3. The scanner is stopped. Our display opens up, but you'll notice they remain in the same order. I now have another stack, so we'll put in 4 and 5, hit batch scan. I've restacked my photographs physically so that they're all in the same order that I put them in, and they also appear in the same order in the display. And so when I save them, they all maintain the same order and identify themselves that way when you go through and look at them. But that's what this functionality does with the config editor. Turns off the automatic reverse and allows you to not automatically reverse the order, but to keep them in the order that you would like. You need to go ahead and reactivate the automatic function again if you feel like that's something you want to do. All you have to do is go to config sys, and now we can just merely by hitting enter make a change and change from the do not reverse back to automatic. When you do, you'll notice that you're back in the original configuration. Please feel free to contact any of us at Easy Photo Scan if you have any additional questions about this or anything else about Kodak Picture Saver Scanners.